It's in a different key now.
This is jazz, guys. We work with it, you see, okay?
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
First
Welcome
Laymen
back. Man, it is our first Laymen Live back since we went into quarantine.
Yes.
In Australia, things are getting a little bit better. I will say that. We are slowly beginning to open up Australia again.
Yes.
We've got like a 3-stage plan. ScoMo gets mad at us if we don't download the app.
Oh
He's
my
always
God.
on about the app.
It's always about the app. It's all about the data, I
Mate,
think,
we'll tell
guys.
Americans this, okay? This because Americans will find this funny, right? What the Australian government wants you to do, right, is download this app so they can track where you are at all times, right? So just let that wash through your American sensibilities and see how you react to it. Let's just say that I don't think most Yanks are going to be keen on that idea, okay?
And every single time they're doing an ad for it, they're like, it's covered by law. Privacy, privacy, privacy. We promise. We know what's going on with that, okay, everyone? But that's what's going on in Australia, but we are getting to the stage now where they're talking about opening restaurants and all that kind of jazz. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But during that time, we have been hanging out. This is our first Laymen Live.
It is our first Laymen Live back.
The first question that we always ask each other is, what have you been playing?
Well, good question, Sam. So,
Apart from
first of all, I'm just going to
Cyberpunk-
make sure we're live. It's Laymen Live, alive. Get we're back. Okay, cool. I think it looks like we're okay. It looks like we're off center. Are we off center? No, I think it's just that I
because it
can't
hasn't-
see the
yeah,
edge.
yeah.
Okay, cool, good. What have I been playing? So, this week, or for the last 10 days, I've basically been playing nothing but Hunt Showdown. Do you know what that is, Sam?
No.
Hunt Showdown is a Battle Royale style game from Crytek, the people who made Crysis.
Another Battle Royale.
I mean, it's very different to Battle Royale, but it's Battle Royale style.
Okay.
And it's unbelievably good. Unbelievable. I put 50 hours into it over the last just over a week, basically. It's
What
amazing.
have I been playing?
Yeah, here we go. This won't take long. Here we go.
I'm playing
a
Wind
little bit
Waker
of
on my
Overwatch.
phone on my emulator. I own the game, of
What,
course.
Wind Waker?
Wind Waker on my
Nice,
phone, so I do
nice.
own the game. Okay. I'm playing some Zelda before that on my phone too, which was fun, and some Banjo-Kazooie on my phone too. So I've been doing a bunch of phone games at the moment.
You've been hitting the big releases then.
Really big, cutting-edge releases, everybody.
That's right, yeah,
That's
that's
pretty
right.
much what I've been... Oh, of course, Overwatch and Smash too. So that's what I've
Are
been
you still
playing
playing Smash?
every single day.
Right, okay.
Every single day. Elite Smash once, and then I got kicked out of it, so... That's what we've been doing. So what is the first
Real men
story?
play Hunt Showdown, Sam. That's
Well,
what
I
need
might
you
have to
know.
give it a go now.
You are never going to play Hunt Showdown. Let's just say that.
I play all the
Let's
games, guys. You know this. Okay?
That'd be so
All right?
funny.
We know this.
Watching you play Hunt, that'd be the best shit. I'd be down for that video. So other than that, no, we've been just doing our thing, and as I said, quarantine is sort of winding down here in Australia. It's still on, don't get me wrong, in many regards, but it is easing. So that's why we're back in studio now. This was our first week back.
Yes, it is.
And it's much better to be back, let's just say that.
It is.
Doing those videos on the webcam, it's so shit,
It was
man.
tough because we were like,
tough.
I thought he would be finished, or I'd start
Yeah.
talking, or I wouldn't be finished. Anyway.
Because there's this lag thing with the Zoom or whatever. I mean,
Which no one is aware of course.
Microsoft Teams, of course.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
everyone used Microsoft Teams.
Yes, of course. Of course.
So look, anyway, we were glad to be done with the webcam stuff. We're back here now, covering the news. Now, if you haven't tuned into Laymen Live, we do a show every Saturday morning, Australia time. That's Friday night in the US and other places, because there are other places on the planet than the United States.
Yeah, but Sydney's where it's at.
That's right. And basically, we just go through all of the smaller news for the week that we hadn't had a chance to cover, as well as anything that popped up in the last 24 hours. So, in that spirit, why don't we get started? Oh, we got some super chats, actually.
Oh, already!
Matt Hansen, first of all, says, first Laymen Live in forever. I missed my weekly Australian shenanigans. Hope you're doing good. Thank you very much, Matt. We are. Appreciate you, buddy. Welcome back, Led, says fan of game for $5. And Zendrew, welcome back.
Hello.
Zendrew, morning, boys. All the time in quarantine and still no Sekiro review. Oh, that hurts, man.
Still.
I thought I'd be getting some question about Final Fantasy 14 review, but anyway, that's a whole other topic. And Nitro as well, I've seen you in the chat. Thank you very much
Oh,
for being
Nitro,
here.
how are you, my friend?
Hope you've been well. So,
First story.
first story. Let's start with some good news for today. Let's just get started with that, shall we? The first.
Well, bad news for Switch people, but we'll get there.
Well, I mean, you gotta walk before you can crawl before you can walk.
There we go.
That's
we got
the
there.
phrase.
We got there
It's-
live. Okay.
Turns out that we can probably expect a Mass Effect Trilogy remaster in the next 12 months or so. So EA had an earnings call, and as part of their earnings call, they talked about their upcoming titles, and they listed one of those titles as an EA HD title.
Yeah.
which is weird, but anyway, that's just what they're referring to their remakes now as, I guess. And this guy here, Jeff Grubb, Industry Insider, got a good track record of talking about what's going on behind the scenes. He says, that HD remake of an EA game is the Mass Effect trilogy. Just don't expect that it's also launching on Switch, at least not at first.
That's a shame.
I mean,
I'd love to play Mass Effect on Switch.
Sure.
I love any game on Switch, really, but, look, maybe they're looking to actually make this look so incredible and make it realize that it's just not going to be compatible.
I don't think so. I don't think...
Well, a lot of HD remakes or whatever.
I think it's an HD... I think they're going to tighten up the textures. I don't think they're going to, do a full, let's do massive redesign. I don't think it's that. I think it's just let's make it run and look better and get it, hopefully, at a higher frame rate.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be pretty sick playing Mass Effect on Switch, by the way.
Of course. I mean, I think any game that you can get on Switch, it's just such a massive market.
Sure.
A lot of people like myself, I'd rather just lie in bed and play it or get on the bus and play a bit of it. So yes, I hope they actually do it. Even so, if this is say they release the HD remake on, the consoles and not Switch, maybe just release the normal looking version, on Switch. People will still buy that. You reckon?
I mean, yeah, they would. I definitely would buy that. I would buy that. I would like them to do a better job of it, though. But I would still pay for it, not gonna lie. So, the other thing that this guy said in this thread, which I thought was actually quite funny, he's like, wow, I didn't think that people were still this passionate about Mass Effect. I figured most of you would think it's neat, but not a huge deal. I was clearly wrong. I'm like... The biggest surprise in this thread is that tweet.
Yeah.
Obviously, people fucking stan Mass Effect, man. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Our Thick Boy's one of our Thick Boy's favourite games are Mass Effects.
It's some of my favourite games as well, absolutely. Mass Effect 2, man. I think it's absolutely one of the top 10 games ever made. Please at me if you disagree, and we will have words. Anyway, guys, we also got a whole bunch of super chats after that.
God,
missed you guys like all heck, says Ace Mori. Happy to see the Laymen return. But I wanted to say that I think 2019 was the best year for gaming this gen. 2018, great. 2019 better than 2018. There you go. Big call. A lot of people didn't really like 2019 all that much.
There's a lot of good games for 2019.
2020 though is where it's at, man. That's where we're getting the SpongeBob remaster. So people are.
Are we actually getting that?
Yeah, we are, man.
Because we're going to review that then.
Oh, we are definitely reviewing that. Don't you worry.
Because that was on PlayStation 1, I think.
It was too. Manuel Mays with $5. Love the channel. Girlfriend doesn't even like games, but still watches with me because you guys are so funny. That's all me. I carry the humor on this channel.
Yes.
I'm the funny guy
she
right
has
around
class.
here. That's right.
Good.
Zaid, thank you very much for 5 New Zealand dollars. Welcome back, lads. Back in the office again. Bummer about the gameplay. Yes, we will come to that point.
Yes.
Not many games coming. Maybe Iceborne, says Kamal, for $2 Canadian. Iceborne, I still want to play one day. But I actually am working on other things. I'm going to play Deep Rock Galactic this week as well, which is another game that's coming out of early access for the first time, and I'm excited about it because apparently it's really good. Anyway, let's get back to the news. We'll see what's up. And so from good news to bad news, it turns out Tokyo Game Show
is cancelled.
Is Tokyo no show.
Oh,
he's put on the sunglasses.
That would have been a thumbnail.
It would have been a thumbnail.
That could have been a good thumbnail.
I've been on a roll with thumbnails.
Yeah, actually not bad. Now, Tokyo Game Show, everyone, of course, very exciting. That happens in when we were in Japan last year. September, that's right, September. I'm surprised that this wasn't called earlier, but because I think every single country internationally is like no travel for a hell of a long time, especially Australia for that matter. I wonder if they are going to try and do something like IGN is doing with E3. Are we going to chat about E3 today? I don't think so.
Not really. A little bit. A few things.
Yeah, but I think to not do it in any way, shape, or form would be disappointing. I hope they come out and go, look, you know what, guys, we've got an electronic streaming way that we want to deliver this stuff. But to have 10,000 people in a venue like a giant.
I don't think it's 10. I think it's like 200. I think it's like 200,000 for Tokyo Game Show.
No, is it?
I think so. Yeah, because it's a public event.
I thought Thingy was like. I thought the Germany one was Gamescom.
Yeah, that's like 350 to 400,000 people.
Really?
So, Tokyo Game Show is a big event, though. That's for sure. That's for sure. So anyway, look, it's sad times. It won't be on this year. There usually isn't a huge amount of news for Western games, though. When I say Western, I say like even like games that we would play here. We don't hear much about them at Tokyo Game Show. It's really not. It's very much focused on mobile games these days. Versus before it used to be quite a big big ticket item in the gaming calendar. But look, anyway, either way, it's it's not.
I remember. I mean, even last year, I don't think it's a place that they do a lot of announcements, but they do a lot of things where they show trailers for games that are already announced.
The only thing I remember from last year was like some Final Fantasy 14
and
stuff.
some Cyberpunk was there too.
A Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, I'm
not
sure
some
there
new.
was.
No, there was no new announcements there though. That was like they were present there. I think maybe.
Okay.
Anyway, look, that's Tokyo Game Show. It's not happening. Someone says here, Zaid says, welcome back. Oh, no, we got that one. No, we've actually got all the super chats. Sorry, I thought we had more. Never mind.
I see, guys. I see how it is. All right,
Sam,
no worries.
Sam, just always like. Anyway, Doom, guys. Okay, so obviously, if you missed it this week, sad news about Doom. And that news is that Mick Gordon will not be returning for the soundtrack. He had a falling out with Bethesda, or id Software, I should say, to do with the fact that he wasn't actually really doing his job. You know, basically he owed them a mixed soundtrack for release. He agreed to it and then didn't basically get it done, offered lots of excuses along the way, tried to double down and promised twice the amount of work and then ended up delivering not even the bare minimum. He has not replied to any of the stuff, by the way. Which is interesting. Because basically the studio head, Marty Stratton, put out a note to everyone, a public letter saying, here's what really went down with Mick Gordon, because everyone was trashing id and trashing Bethesda, whatever. And Mick has not responded to that. Mick has not set the record straight and said, hey, here's what really happened. So that's interesting.
And it's turned the tide really fast. Because, I mean, if you saw the comment section on Reddit, even, a day before Marty came out with that response, everyone was like, Bethesda bad, id bad, all this kind of stuff. Now, everyone's just, it seems like unanimously is kind of seeing this
Mick Gordon bad.
Way. Mick Gordon bad.
Yeah.
I wonder if he is going to come back in some capacity in the future, but it seems like at least for the DLCs, he is not part of it for now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we do now see the first screenshots of the DLC. So these are it now.
These are the two screenshots for the upcoming Doom Eternal DLC. We don't really know anything about them other than it's set in Camino, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
It's also that...
Very Wolfenstein-esque.
It actually looks more Titan, like that planet from Destiny 2.
It looks a bit like Wolfenstein. That flying thing where you have to go and kill Hitler? Kind of?
They had the helicarrier.
Yeah, those kind of things.
Like from S.H.I.E.L.D. So anyway, guys, that's it. They're the two screenshots. That's all we have about Doom Eternal DLC. And we can look forward to that.
Is there any idea of when that's coming out?
I don't know. I haven't heard a date. They've announced that it's coming, but they haven't announced a date. So, so yes. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that. And we've got some more super chats. Scott Phelps for $20. Very generous, my friend. Thank you very much. He says, I didn't miss what you said about Final Fantasy 14. Are you doing a review? I've been waiting patiently. Yes, the plan is actually to do the Final Fantasy review when they do the streamlining of the early game. Because in patch 5.3, they're going to basically truncate the early leveling. Only a little bit, not much, which I'm a bit disappointed about. But I hopefully will do the review then, because I think a lot of people are going to be interested to jump in at that time.
Yeah, well, I remember WoW did that too. They kind of just made it a bit faster. Or is there also level boosting in FF14?
Yeah, you can buy level skips.
All that kind of business.
But it's really bad buying level skips, because the whole game's about the story. It's not like WoW. Like WoW, you can just ignore the story, it doesn't matter. But like with Final Fantasy, if you skip the story, you're not playing the game. So.
I see. Yeah.
My favorite Aussie, says Jonathan for $10. Glad you guys, see you guys again. Much love from NYC. By the way, what's your take on buying consoles at launch? So first of all, hope you're staying safe in NYC, man. I have quite a few friends over there, and it's tough, as we understand. I've been speaking to them, and it's not great over there. So hope you're doing okay. As for buying consoles at launch, man, I always buy consoles.
Yeah, that's the thing where, if you've seen the graphics, which we've seen plenty of actual gameplay now from Xbox, of course, right? I think it's such a it's a relatively safe bet to be buying the console at launch, because all these companies are going to be putting a lot of money into this console. A lot of developers are jumping on. We've seen the amount of developers that are working on the Xbox One X. So there's a Series X, so there's a lot going into it. So personally, I would always buy a console at launch.
For sure.
Because also we've heard too that there's going to be such a short supply of it.
Yeah.
I'd rather get in quick.
I agree. Totally agree. Do you know I started getting emails offering me...
I saw that!
Yeah.
I was going to do that whole monkey gift that he's waiting on the phone. Where the hell's mine?
I'm starting to get emails offering me preview code for next gen games. So I can't say which games they are, but I can tell you that's happening now.
Is it SpongeBob?
So it may or may not be SpongeBob.
It may be SpongeBob. Okay, all right.
I need it. So look, I can't disclose which ones, but I can tell you it's heating up, man. It's getting real, and you can definitely expect to see lots of news in the next little while as people get ready for all that. So It's happening, man. It's
Interesting.
happening.
Laymen got it too. I'm just,
Yeah, Laymen. It's of
you know
course.
what I mean? Like,
he just got caught in the spam filter.
God,
That's
I
right.
got to check that.
That's right. John Diaper? I'm going to say that's not diaper. Diaper? I don't know, man. Thank you very much for the $10.
It looks like diaper.
It does look like diaper, but we don't use that word here in Australia. We use nappy.
Yeah, nappy. John Nappy, thank you very much for $10.
Doom DLC soundtrack. Is it going to be good? Hershot or Buckethead? I don't know, man. I don't know how they're going to replace Mick Gordon. To be
Look,
perfectly
it
honest.
could be interesting because we could find now a new voice, a new musical style that, you know, we're so used to the Mick Gordon
like
style.
Armin van Buuren to do like
which
sick,
could work.
like early 2000s trance soundtrack to it.
Yeah, I mean,
sick.
there's no reason why that stuff couldn't work. I mean, maybe they can go the other way and just do like some deep, like sad classical shit or something. Who knows?
You know who it'll be? It'll be Billie Eilish. That'll be it.
Oh,
it'll definitely be her.
So
100%. That's who's going to do the next Doom soundtrack, guys. You heard it here first. Billie Eilish.
Well, they did that with Mortal Kombat when they did that horrendous music with the new
That
trailers.
was so bad.
Anyway,
That was terrible. And Dansky with 10 pounds. Yes. Great to see you guys, the Laymen back together again. So who's better at Street Fighter behind you? That's me. Thanks for the delicious memes.
I'm actually better than
That's a lie. Don't listen to him, Dansky. Anyway, guys, let's get back to the news. Let's see what's next. What do we got here? We've got this is great news right here, guys. This is a real feel-good story. Here's how much money Activision and EA made from microtransactions.
Oh, yes.
This is one of those great stories we look forward to. So basically, they publish their quarterly earnings figures and their year-to-date figures and whatever else in their earnings bullshit things. Basically, Activision Blizzard measures microtransactions through a bucket called in-game net bookings. They reached 956 million for the quarter, ending March 31st. That's up 162 million from 794 million the same period.
Which is actually very interesting because I do feel like we've seen a slight trend away from that, especially with Call of Duty and all that kind of stuff. I don't remember, because I know they did the whole the red dot thing last year. This year, was there a huge amount of microtransactions?
There are microtransactions, but they've done a lot of work on COD. Like it's a lot of it's around the season pass now, which is a better model depending on who you ask and whatever else. I have fewer problems with the season pass than charging for a fucking red dot or whatever. There are also some specific cosmetics that you can purchase in COD as well. But look, it just because I actually, as I said, my secret shame is I play Warzone pretty regularly, and it feels like a far less monetized and sort of like greedy game than previous CODs. So I like it for that reason. They've made an improvement, I think. But yes, obviously, the other thing that's really sort of buoyed this for them is the Call of Duty Mobile, which has launched really well and just they're crushing it with that. So that kind of is understandable why they've seen such an uptick there.
I think that has I think I saw on Google Play it has at least between 100 or 500 million downloads. It's gigantic how many people have, and that actually would justify that. But I was just thinking, in terms of Blizzard, I mean, Hearthstone's not as popular as it was before. There's not a lot of stuff coming out for Activision and Blizzard. I was surprised to see up 20%. But there's more.
There's also Electronic Arts, and basically they call their microtransactions live services. For the quarter ended March 31, EA made 789 million from live services, which is down from 845 million from the same period. Basically, Apex Legends launched in the same period, so they had a huge boost there. But they're still crushing it, and they still say that EA said that the Ultimate Team modes grew strongly, which is always what we want to see. We want to see that the Ultimate Team product is continuing to thrive.
Well, as an investor, you do want to see
Absolutely
that.
Right. My huge stock holding in EA. But don't worry, guys. In 2018, EA CEO Andrew Wilson spoke about how EA is committed to microtransactions.
Oh, wow, that's good.
So long as they are handled responsibly and in a fair manner.
Oh, yes. Okay,
well, I can trust you. You can trust that.
Look, I mean, he doesn't look like a villain at all.
Like a guy you can trust.
He does not look like a villain.
He does not look like Handsome Jack from Borderlands.
Exactly.
If anyone says that, they're lying.
Exactly.
Just ignore that person. They're a hater.
No, but I think the Jedi Fallen Order didn't have any microtransactions. What else have they done actually that didn't have nothing, right?
The Need for Speed, latest Need for Speed game didn't either.
Didn't have any microtransactions?
Nothing.
Okay, cool. Well, then that would account for why it's a little bit lower. But you know what? I'm glad that it's lower than it's higher.
Look, as I said, we double EA all the time. It's a requirement. But at the same time, we must give them credit for cleaning up their act in some regards. The fact that Jedi Fallen Order and Need for Speed came out with no microtransactions is a great sign. I wonder if they've kind of like vacated the field when it comes to core gaming, and they're like, it's just too hard to push that bullshit there.
Yeah.
People push back too much, and they're just going to focus on sports games where they know they can just milk their player base, and the player base won't complain because they don't know any better. And mobile games, hopefully.
I wonder also, Need for Speed, is that like hardcore gaming? Like, not really, right?
Nah, it's pretty casual.
That's what I mean. I'm surprised that they bundled that in and didn't put any microtransactions in
I don't
that.
know. I'm not sure. So
anyway, on top of that, speaking of Star Wars, everybody, okay, since we're there, great segue. Now,
Nice
we,
segue.
a lot of people, if not all people that love Star Wars, did enjoy Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It was received very well, it reviewed very well, and of course a lot of people were like, well, there must be something else coming in the pipeline for that. Now, I think it's in the latest earnings call, I believe, right? They did confirm that it is now going to be a franchise. The quote is somewhere below there. It says something along the lines of, Jedi Fallen Order is a new and exciting franchise of ours. Or something.
Yeah.
This is the first official confirmation that Fallen Order isn't a one-off adventure.
For sure.
During the earnings call, CEO Andy Wilson said that Jedi Fallen Order is the first title in an entirely new franchise. So we are expecting more of that, which is good.
Totally down for that. I think Jedi Fallen Order, a lot of people really like to dump on it because I think everyone...
Really?
And I noticed, the same thing happened with the Outer Worlds, okay? Which is like, everyone kind of really liked this game. And they're like, this is a cool game, well done. And so what all these, like, people decided, they're like, oh, no, I'm going to ruin this. And they're like, no, actually, if you really understood how good RPGs work, you'd know that Outer Worlds is trash. And you're like, come on, man. It's a good, fun, solid overall title that you can just like sit back and enjoy, and it works. Do you know what I mean? And like, especially with Outer Worlds, we hadn't had a game like that in so long, and it was just really nice to experience something that worked. And I feel like with Jedi Fallen Order, a lot of people do the same thing. They're like, no, you don't understand. It's just discount Tomb Raider meets Uncharted with bad controls and shitty Dark Souls combat. Yeah. It's like, but it's also just really fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just a really fun Star Wars game.
I just think the way that they packaged that was perfect for it was... I just thought that it was a good job. I did not know that there was actually any people out. I mean, sure, there's always going to be some people that don't like it, but I feel like the general consensus is still that this was a well-received game.
Oh, it definitely was.
You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
I'm not surprised in the slightest that they'll continue this. The only thing that I wonder is, A, what were the sales? What were the amount that they made off this? And I wonder if it is justifying no microtransactions for them.
I definitely remember seeing some sales figure at some point that was like, yes, this game crushed it.
Okay, cool.
I think it sold like 6 or 7 or 8 million, right. 8 million units, and I think they said it was selling above expectation. That was a quote I remember. So, yeah, man, that was it. That's it. I'm excited about this because there was some room to improve this game. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. There were some issues, and I really like the idea that they've got a foundation they can work from and take it to the next level. So that's that. Hey guys,
any super chats?
Josh asks, will you guys ever play Persona 5? Sam, Persona 5 takes about 130 hours to complete. Will you play it?
Let's do it then.
Let's
get into it.
Yeah,
I've got 1,000 hours in Overwatch. I can put a bit of time aside and just play a bit of that.
Yeah, sure.
No, will we do it? Probably not.
I actually played the first 2 palaces in Persona 5 when it launched. And I really liked it. It was really good. But then I had to move on to other things because I have to review other games. That's the problem.
He's just saying it didn't interest him enough, guys. Just please take that away and put in the comment section how much you don't like Round 4.
I actually really like the style of that game is incredible.
Thick Boy actually absolutely loves that game too. That's one of his favourite games of 2018. Was it 2018?
Yeah, I think it's most people who play it. It's one of their favourite games of that year for sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would love to be able to say that I could go back and do Persona 5 Royale, but it's just like I said, 130 hours. I could be reviewing 3 other games in that time. So I know that really sucks to say that, but it is honestly the truth. So.
Definitely. Look, if a game comes out, and it's 130 hours, and there's 3 games that are coming out 20 hours each, I mean, it's too hard to keep up.
It's too hard. But it all depends as well. If I was a real massive JRPG stan, I would prioritize it. But I'm actually not. I don't mind. And if that was my audience, I'm not a huge JRPG guy, so I can't really prioritize it that much. But yeah, look, I played about 25 hours of it originally and really liked it. So that's probably all I will say on the topic. So, anyway, guys, let's go back to actually. Turns out there's actually more EA news. Today's basically EA Bonanza.
Microtransaction Bonanza.
That's right. So here's something that's actually legitimately surprising. Turns out EA's upcoming games will let you upgrade them to run on next-gen consoles for free. Okay, so. Basically, they said that this is a thing that's coming.
Smart delivery, essentially.
It's called smart delivery. No. That's actually
Xbox
not called smart delivery. That's the thing, right? And this is the thing where Madden is not listed as a smart delivery title.
Okay.
When it was demoed in the Xbox gameplay showcase, it was not listed as a smart delivery title. It seems like EA are doing their own thing when it comes to upgrading these games from this gen to next gen and giving people the option to do that. It doesn't seem like they're utilizing Xbox's approach. Maybe they are, but for now they're being coy about it.
Yep.
Maybe that has to do with the fact that PlayStation hasn't announced their approach yet. I don't know, but that's the thing.
I use the term smart delivery only because kind of Xbox has coined it for them at least. It seems like it's pretty much the exact same thing apart from Fine Madden. Maybe Madden has their own contractual agreements with teams and those and I don't know, right? And they're expecting to be paid twice, or EA just wants to be EA with that. I don't know, but I think the precedent has been set now with Xbox to be like, look, guys, we're going to try and give you games on both sides, current gen and next gen.
Yeah.
And EA is obviously following that, and maybe the precedent will be set more and more now because these big companies are jumping on and doing that. But another thing, I think this is in their best interest because EA and Xbox are really doubling down on streaming. Like they're wanting to make that work. So if they're really trying to get into that market, it's a safe marketing strategy to say, guys, you can play it on both gens as well. It's going to be on our streaming services anyway. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's true. I agree with that.
So it's going to be on both gens anyway through the streaming platform.
Yeah.
And I think that EA and Xbox are leading the charge there. And we still haven't actually heard anything from EA for... Oh, they had it at last E3, didn't they?
Which one?
You could go hands-on with their streaming stuff at EA Play.
I don't think so.
It was either that one or the year before. They definitely had a booth that you could play.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember that. Okay, fair enough.
Anyway, so it makes sense to me if I'm a company that's trying to get into that space and I feel like my streaming services are going to cross over between those gens anyway, then offer it because it's probably not going to cost you much money if people are going on the streaming on your streaming services anyway.
Yeah, the exact quote is, speaking in an earnings call to shareholders at a press conference last night, CEO Blake Jurgensen, he's the guy that said, by the way, that if you are in the middle of a fight and you run out of ammunition, it's really easy for me to charge you for bullets.
Good guy.
He said, this year, the phasing includes the effect of revenue recognition from the games we are launching for the current generation of consoles that can also be upgraded free to the next generation. So I'm honestly quite surprised about this. I know what you've said about streaming and stuff, but I'm surprised because selling the same game twice is kind of how EA makes their money. That's basically their entire business model.
Or so selling you half the game and then making you buy it through microtransactions.
I would not have expected that they would have gone down this route. I would have expected that they'd say, you want to buy Madden? Cool. We'll sell it to you in August on this gen hardware, and we'll sell it to you in November on next gen hardware. And if you want to be able to play it on both, well, you have to buy it twice.
Yeah, for sure. I think it only takes one or two more big companies to come out with this same smart delivery, as if we'll use that,
Sure,
for it to become like kind of maybe the thing going forward. I think.
Well, it sort of is the thing.
Well, we've only seen it from two companies though.
I mean,
Xbox Game Studios has 13 studios under its belt now, whatever.
Sure.
Let's just say 13 studios. Let's just say Xbox as a publishing company plus EA's publishing company. We're seeing a decent amount of games now that are going to be smart delivery. All it takes is Activision and Ubi to come out and do the same thing, and it becomes pretty much the general thing to do next gen.
Sure. Hey, Colonel Panic 276, he's been asking about Valorant, which is a very appropriate username.
Yes.
Hey boys, either of you been playing Valorant? Been playing with 200 plus ping, and it feels like 50 to 70 MS in CSGO. Good netcode and good gameplay so far. So yeah, we actually almost got into the beta, but it's a long story. We couldn't get into Valorant. Definitely interested to play it. I don't look at Valorant and think, I'm definitely going to no-life this game. It's totally my jam. Can't wait.
Well, I think maybe me, because I play so much Overwatch.
It's not like Overwatch.
No, but I know that. I know it's a kind of Siege and Counter-Strike and Overwatch all rolled into one. Sure. So it may be what it may resonate with me, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that is.
Sure. I'm definitely keen for it. I think we can expect it to be rolling out pretty soon in Australia, like the tests. So we'll be able to get into those ones. And we'll
What's the release date again? July?
There is no confirmed release date. They said it's going to be coming out sometime in the summer, though. So it should be like American summer. Judson Watkins for $5 says, you think the PS5 and Series X, that military sim games would come to console like Squad, and it'll be my Battlefield replacement game. I hope so. I would love to see Escape from Tarkov on next-gen consoles. That'd be interesting to see what like console audiences do with that game. But yeah, Armor on consoles, lol. I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, anyway. Hopefully, yes, that'd be good. Hugh asks, have you seen the Eververse stuff? I have seen the Eververse stuff. That's amazing. They've done some really good work.
Eververse stuff?
TLDR, non-Destiny people, they're basically...
Which you're not even anymore.
I don't play...
Not even.
Right now, I don't play Destiny. That's true. I play Hunt. Right now, what's going on with the Eververse is that they're basically pulling a lot of stuff out of the Eververse that shouldn't have been in there in the first place, like to do with aspirational activities. So stuff to do with raids. You could earn like weapons and armor in raids, but you could also get like a ship that looks like the raid stuff. So it's part of the set. So you have to earn it there, but you have to buy it there, which is kind of bullshit. So they're pulling all that stuff out, so you can only earn it. They're adding some new stuff there, but whatever. And they're also adding transmog to the game as well. So you can kind of like mix and match your armor. Yeah. Which has been a long requested feature.
I think a lot of people are a lot more easier on Destiny 2's monetization to an extent, because it is now free to play. You know? The first part of the game is, at least. And if they're not, then fine. But I feel like when a game embarks on the free to play model, it needs to justify it's keeping its lights on, you know.
I hear what you're saying. I will tell you that the Destiny fan has been extremely hostile to Bungie over the last year when it comes to monetization, Eververse, a lot of things really. And I actually am not close enough to the game to say whether or not it's justified. I just know that it's been a very pissed off community in like many regards for the last little while.
I feel like if I know that the entire thing isn't free, I think it's the first two main game
basically
plus
the whole game is free except for the last two expansions.
Yeah. So I feel like up until that point, you know, I would expect some sort of freemium component, and then when it gets into those last two expansions, you've paid for those expansions, you should be able to, you know. But we don't know the ins and outs of that. But anyway, whatever.
Yep. Colton DK is back. Welcome back, friend. Good to see you with
I haven't seen DK in a while.
With 89 Donkey Kong coins. Odin might be the leader, but Tyr is the god of war. Any self-respecting Viking will pray to him before any battle. Okay, then.
Okay,
I think we'll trust you on that. I'm assuming you're Danish, and that's part of your thing, so we trust you,
We
man.
will not disrespect.
That's right.
Yes.
And Karen... Well, we have a Karen in the chat, guys.
We don't have a manager here.
That's right. $5. Can I make your t-shirt design? I think it would be cool. I'll be able to work on it next week when I'm done with school and graduate. How do I send? There is an email address in Sam's Twitter, in the Laymen Gaming Twitter profile.
Yes.
Email it to that and hit us up. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you. Cool. $5 from Purple Gummy Bear. He says, will you review Half-Life Alyx? I will review Half-Life Alyx at some point.
Far out. That was one of the best games I've ever played. I swear to God.
I still have not played it.
I cannot believe how good that game was for what I've played with VR, for what I've experienced, which is a decent amount, because I had a Quest before I actually picked up the Oculus Rift R or whatever it is. It is, if you guys have played it, you know what I'm talking about. It felt like such a step forward. And IGN put it, which I don't usually quote IGN, but they're like, it felt like playing a game from the future of VR, and it really did feel like that for me.
There you go.
So you definitely should play it.
I actually want to play Half-Life 2 in episode 1 and 2 before I do that, because I just played through Black Mesa, so I kind of want to do like the whole thing.
No, but Black Mesa then, Alex, and then it's Half-Life, isn't it? That's smack bang in the middle.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, true, but at the same time, it's like, I want to experience what Half-Life 2 did and remember that, because it's been a long time since I've played Half-Life 2, so... The Zeitghost for $5 said, listed companies like EA might not announce free upgrades until they do it, as they would need to defer part of the revenue under accounting rules. That is true. In fact, I think that's what Blake was talking about when he... was making that quote, so yes. Anyway, guys, let's get back to the news. We've done a whole bunch of chatting, not enough newsing. That's right, it's a verb now, people.
Alright, so
we're back on the EA train now. Next Battlefield game set for next year on Xbox Series X and PS5. So good news, guys. You can absolutely trust DICE with your money this time around. Don't worry about Battlefield 5. Just ignore that one, okay? Just forget about that one. Forget about the fact that they didn't finish the war. There was no...
The war ended quickly.
The war ended before D-Day happened.
Yep.
There was none of that. All the live service stuff just vanished. But don't worry, you can trust them this time around. They said the next Battlefield game is coming in 2021. Developer DICE has confirmed. In a statement to IGN, the Swedish studio said that support for Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Battlefield 5 winding down, it is focused on the future of Battlefield. For a new game set for release in 2021, the studio has split its efforts between the two series since Star Wars Battlefront back in 2015.
I feel like Star Wars Battlefront 2 is actually on a bit of a winning streak right now in terms of...
People love that game.
People really like it now. And I can't think of a game that was such a dumpster fire. I mean, even Siege, right? When it came out, people were like, oh, it's buggy and whatever. But people didn't like visually hate it, you know? Star Wars Battlefront 2 was definitely one of their most hated games of 2017, if not most hated games.
It was the most hated
ever.
game.
Most downvoted comments on Reddit,
ever.
you know, and for them to come back the way they did, surprised that they're putting all their efforts only into the next Battlefield. I'm sure they're looking to do plans in the future with Star Wars Battlefront 3, but to hear that there's no initial plans...
I wonder about that, like, because, I mean, I think Star Wars has just lost so much brand cash, like...
You think so?
Oh, yeah, big time. With the movies, like, again, I don't know, man, they've really mishandled... Like, Disney has completely mishandled the Star Wars franchise.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, here we go, Kathleen. You know, so I feel like I would think there would be less demand for another big Star Wars Battlefront style game, personally. I feel like if they were to do, you know, a Mandalorian movie or whatever... Make a Mandalorian game. Okay, sure. I'd play that. But if you were just to, like, make another Battlefront, I reckon that'd be a harder sell. And I reckon EA's, like, you know... head honchos would probably really think closely about that one.
The only issue I think with Star Wars Battlefronts is, number one, I think they tapped into the nostalgia of the previous ones. So the first Battlefront that was announced or released in 2015, people were like, yes, I'm going to people lined up in droves for that because the nostalgia was there. We all played it on PS2 or Xbox. It was fantastic, right?
Do you know, just FYI, they've actually just updated the PC version so you can play multiplayer on that now. They added online multiplayer to Star Wars.
Oh, the original one on Steam. Yep. I bought that about 3 years ago trying to jump on it. I couldn't play it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a thing.
But I think with this... what was I going with that?
I stole it. Yes.
Ruined.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Great success.
Oh, here we go. I know right now.
Shit.
Okay. Genius is back. Don't worry. The only issue here is after the second one and all this DLC, like, you kind of got all the planets that they fight on. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's already 20 or something maps or whatever there is, or 25 maps. There isn't much more that we've seen, at least in the movies. You know, like, they kind of do all of it. So if they go do a Star Wars Battlefront 3... how many additional worlds can we explore that we haven't at least heard of? They have to maybe explore things in books and stuff that most people wouldn't actually know much about.
Sure, that's true. But I agree with that, and I think that even makes it an even harder sell.
I agree,
for, like,
totally.
EA to do that.
Totally.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, well, I wonder. I think EA's exclusive deal with Disney and Star Wars expires pretty soon. I wonder whether or not they will renew it. I wonder whether or not they'll have a different approach this time, or Disney will give it to multiple developers.
It makes sense to do that.
Shit.
It does.
I'd be down for that.
I just feel like it just makes sense based on, like, you have to make the space of Star Wars competitive. And I think that if you can give it to multiple studios, they're going to compete against each other to try and make the best product and try and stand out. I mean, EA, I think, has handled this poorly.
We got 2 Star Wars games from them in the entire time.
3.
Which ones?
Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2.
Yeah, okay. Well, they're the same game in my view, like, in terms of license.
2 franchises.
2 franchises. And they could have done so much more with this, like, just massive amounts. It just was a massive shame.
Huge disappointment.
So, yeah, we could have played as Commander Holdo at some point. Why didn't we get a chance to do that?
Holdo? Who's Holdo again?
Purple hair lady.
Oh, yeah!
Everyone would have loved that.
I would have loved to see the end of that game. Press the button, smash her into
That's right. And it just pops up. You win. Would you like to play again? You have selected no. Anyway, guys, let's keep moving, shall we? We got some more stuff here. We got... Capital Sata with $5 says, you guys are awesome. Look forward to every video. Keep up the good work and stay safe. Thank you very much, friend. That's very kind of you. Drake is in the chat.
Oh, Drake.
$5. He says, welcome back, boys. Must be good to be back on the red couch. It certainly is.
It is.
And Judson is with $2 says, EA Disney contract end.
Oh, really?
2023, no Battlefront 3. There you go.
I wonder why they wouldn't actually try and squeeze, you know, as many titles as possible before they lose the rights to that. I wonder.
Anyway, that's it. Guys, the one last piece of EA news.
More EA news!
I promise it's the last one. You got to trust us on this one, okay? It turns out that whoops, that wasn't the run. EA are doing a digital event in place of E3 this year. They say, see you at June 11th at...
That's very nice, Robert.
We'll come back to that.
Okay.
June 11th at 4 p.m. PST, world premieres and more. We didn't get the world premieres voice, by the way.
World premiere.
Yeah,
we
for
didn't hear
Exo.
that.
The comments for video were really pissed off about that. They're like, where's the fucking voice, man?
Yeah. He was the same one that got out Keanu Reeves.
Was it?
Welcome,
All right.
Reeves.
Nice.
We were there, by the way. It was fantastic.
So anyway, this event, the good news about this event is that it's at 9 a.m. Sydney time. So we can actually live stream this event. Awesome. You can definitely expect us to have that up and ready. We will be live streaming this to make fun of it. Hopefully we see another Command & Conquer mobile game showdown. Because I really feel like that's what we tuned in for.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Okay, one aspect, we love E3, right? But maybe we'll be able to cover more things from the couch, you know, because it's going to be such a digitally driven.
The thing is, EA event. Is such a massive logistics clusterfuck. Like, what you see with what we did at E3 over the last few years, to produce that is such an effort. We get up like super early, we run around like assholes all day long, like setting up cameras, packing up cameras, doing interviews, whatever. Oh, it's such a nightmare.
Yeah,
so just being able to do this all from the couch is kind of nice. It's obviously not as fun to not be on the show floor and shit, but it feels like you'd be able to cover more information for sure.
Definitely. I think, and yeah, I mean, I think if we were kind of umming and ahhing anyway about E3 every year, we're like, okay, what makes sense, you know? And now it's like, well, we don't have to make the decision. We're just here.
Yeah.
You know, so...
We got a very generous...
a huge... Thank you very much.
Robert Marone with $100, $99.99. That's
great,
super generous.
The Aussie conversion right now isn't great. So
welcome back, boys. Since I can't go to a strip club during the Peroni fun time, gonna make it rain on you all. Dude,
I really appreciate that,
Thank you very much,
my
friend. Have you seen, though, in America, there's this one place that was doing a drive-through strip bar? Swear to God. So you drive through in your car and there are women on either side on like poles and shit. It's got all this like neon lighting. It basically looks like a scene out of Cyberpunk 2077 and it's a drive-through strip club.
Wow.
That's a thing, man. There you go. People adapt. Life finds a way.
Life does find a way. Laymen would like to announce a new business venture. We find could be profitable.
That's right. So, guys, the top story for today is that Xbox kind of admits that they blew it big time when it comes to this gameplay reveal event.
Which is rare.
We did...
rare.
It's actually rare for corporate head honchos to be like, yeah, we kind of boned that one. So, basically, if you didn't know, yesterday, Xbox did a gameplay reveal event for the Xbox Series X that contained... some gameplay.
Between 5 and 10%.
I mean, we really looked very closely and with like, you know, like fucking industrial grade telescopes and we managed to find the 1 or 2 minutes of gameplay buried in that like 30-minute presentation. It was a real whiff, basically. Comment section, absolute disaster. Dislikes out the arse. I think actually I read at some point as well that about 10,000 dislikes were deleted from the YouTube video because apparently bots were just spamming it or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not. That's what I heard. That's what I read in the comments. It was a very bad showing for Xbox, and it was a real bad sort of because they've had such momentum up to this point. You know, like they've really been crushing it, and to fumble like this really sucks.
I do feel like it's a small bump in the road though. I don't think it's a gigantic thing. They could have easily just kind of continued and soldiered on, but they've addressed it, and this is actually what Aaron Greenberg said. He was the first one that was kind of shown with the
fridge.
With the fridge behind him.
Sure.
He said, you want to read it? Or...
I'll allow it.
Okay, good. Had we not said anything and just shown May Inside Xbox show like we did last month, I suspect reactions might have been different. Clearly, we set some wrong expectations, and that's on us. We appreciate all the feedback and can assure you we will take it all in and learn as a team. It's pretty cool because we usually see companies like everything's fine. It was amazing. It was success, everybody.
Am I so out of touch?
You know, exactly. You know, it's good to see that. It's good to see that they're actually like, you know what, guys, we didn't hit the right chord and we're going to try next time. You know,
for sure. I mean, you know, basically. This was the chance for everyone to see next-gen Xbox gameplay and to reach a point where they're like, whoa, man, I need to buy this console because this gameplay is so impressive that there's just no way I can not do that, right? And this was so far short of that it was staggering. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just ridiculous. So the fact that he's able... Because this was actually in response to someone who was kind of actually, like, standing Xbox...
Oh, really?
Yeah, this guy was basically like, the Xbox stressed the Inside Xbox event would have gameplay trailers and sneak peek, not just gameplay like many outlets and YouTubers are saying. It was exactly what it was, bright memory, blah, blah, blah. And this guy's basically like, nah, man, we fucked up.
Yeah, we screwed up.
So that's your lesson, Wogger Man.
Wogger Man.
For standing Xbox when they don't deserve it. You get beat down by Xbox's marketing manager.
It has the same logo, by the way.
No, this is the logo for Smart Delivery, I believe.
Is it?
Oh no, sorry, it's not. It's for the optimized for Xbox.
I see.
That's the logo.
And look, I think we've seen a bit of a trend here because I think the general consensus also for the Inside Xbox in London. We certainly spoke to other people that were there, and just the general consensus, I think that it was kind of packaged or hyped up to be something, and it really didn't deliver, especially a lot of next gen stuff. And a lot of people were expecting from the hype and the talk about it to see more from the Inside Xbox in London. And it seems like the same thing's happened again.
Yeah, for sure. So that's that. Anyway, we will continue to keep an eye on this. Xbox has promised that they're going to be doing like a calendar of events over the coming months with major beats every little while. We can definitely expect something in June around when E3 would have been. They've already said that in July we're going to see gameplay for Halo Infinite and other first-party titles. They're still saying they're going to launch this console this year, and they're going to have Halo, for example, launching this year. There was a lot of concern that due to COVID, the consoles would be delayed to next year, major games delayed to next year. It's still on track at this point. That's encouraging, but we'll have to see how they regroup after this disappointing showing.
Yeah, it makes sense though. I mean, if they have to push back Halo, I would expect them to push back the Xbox.
I don't know about that.
I mean, that's like the mothership. It's like the mothership.
There's going to be launch games though, because a lot of games will come over from last gen. Like for example, Rainbow Six Siege. They've said it's going to be available on launch as a next-gen title, which, is a big deal for hardcore Siege players playing at 30 FPS right now. I think Siege is 30 FPS on current consoles.
Oh, is it?
I'm pretty sure it is. I could be wrong, but tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But either way, I know Destiny said that they're going to bring to next-gen as well. They're definitely playing at 30 FPS on consoles. You would be able to push it to 60 FPS on next-gen. That would be huge for those players. To be able to make that jump would be great.
Speaking of Xbox, everybody, we can do some super chats.
Yeah, we got super chats. We got Corey Weber. He says $10 Canadian. We missed you. Missed you boys. I'd listened to your sweet Aussie voices all day. Have you guys tried Mount and Blade 2? No, I haven't. I have Mount and Blade 2. I haven't installed.
I downloaded off your family sharing thing.
Nice.
I haven't played it yet.
Scamming my games. So basically, no, I have not played it, and I plan to, though, because everyone loves it. I hear it's still a little bit buggy, though, so I'm thinking I might wait a little bit. But anyway, Donald is back with his weekly dono. Donald, we love you, man. Thank you very much for coming back every time. It's $8 Aussie. We love you, man. Good to see you. Andy and Adam Williams with $20. Thank you. He says, greetings from NYC. Glad to see the Laymen back. Thank you very much again, my friend. Hope you're staying safe over in NYC. And what do we got? Well, we got this one. Benny J with $8. Sony should reveal something soon now to take advantage of Xbox fails. Nice gameplay, guys. Do I need a controller to play these movies? Nice burn, Benny.
We did say yesterday when we were talking about Xbox, I do expect Sony to listen hard to the feedback, and they're probably going to give us something a little bit different to that, or at least set the expectations right. But guys, as we said yesterday, God, we're going on months and months and months now. Like, PlayStation, where are you? You're supposed to be giving us your next gen in 8 months, and we have yet to even see form factor.
Sure.
We've seen a logo, that's all we've seen. And I think we've seen some ghosts of... what did we see? Some next gen...
The only thing we've seen is Godfall.
Godfall, sorry, that's right. Yeah. And we just haven't seen anything. And Xbox is every single month delivering us news, gameplay lol, or just information about their upcoming next gen, and Sony's just not doing anything.
Sure.
So, I mean, for them to come out in June and do the whole thing there, it kind of starts getting a bit late, But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think all eyes are on PlayStation now. There is a chance for them to swoop in and be like, here's some actual gameplay, guys, and everyone's like, whoa, blow their loads and pre-order dollars and whatever. I think, though, what's actually happening is that Sony are just focused on The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, and they don't want to interrupt the sort of media PR plan for that. Even though that plan has kind of already been a little bit interrupted, can I just say that plan has really changed quite a bit in the last little while. So would be wise for Sony to roll with the punches and maybe start getting some of that PlayStation news out early. Who knows when we'll see it, but we will certainly see something soon. So, guys, there's also some more here. We've got your long shadows with $50 Nokia dollars. Not playing Resident Evil 7 in VR when you already have the peripheral. Insert sadness here. Yes, I know a lot of people said I should have played Resident Evil in VR, but you can only play it on PlayStation, and I was playing it on PC. So, but either way, I still loved Resident Evil 7. By the way, if you haven't played Resident Evil 7, go and play it, man. It's a seriously good video game.
I got to the second house. It was amazing. Sure. Yeah, so good.
And Colton is back. Rainbow Six Siege is in decline. It changed from shooter to a clear enemy utility gadgets. I haven't played Siege in a long time.
I haven't played it in a while.
And apparently it is actually 60 FPS on consoles at the moment.
Ralph was wrong.
That's what the chat was yelling at me. Matt Baker with $20. Glad to see the Laymen are back on the cussing couch. Care to tell us how the smoking situation is going, Samuel?
Well,
tell us, Sam.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, that's right. He may or may not smell like an ashtray right now sitting next to me. So,
man, we're in lockdowns, bored.
Oh, yeah. I reckon actually cigarette companies would have loved that shit because they knew people would be super bored, and they're like...
And drinking apparently went up. Everyone making quarantinis, it's...
Nice.
So,
just that video on Twitter of that guy from, like, Sex and the City or whatever, like, mixing a martini. I forget his name. Tucci or something his name was. He was just, like, mixing a cocktail. Anyway, look...
Was he big? The guy big?
No.
It wasn't big. Okay, anyway. Speaking of other news, okay?
Segue.
There we go. Let's just get back to it.
Should we get back to the news?
Microsoft, okay. Now, the Game Pass, okay? Now, it's been a successful venture, I think, Xbox Game Pass. More and more games every single month are announced. Like Red Dead 2 was recently announced. It's going to be on Game Pass.
Red Dead, it's already on Game Pass. You can, right now, if you have Game Pass, you can get Red Dead 2.
For £1. Or $1.
£1.
No, because I've still got mine in London region for some reason.
Right.
Anyway, so it's been hugely successful. Now, it's in this tweet, it says Xbox Game Pass has more than 10 million subscribers, 90 million active users on Xbox Live, led by strength on both console and PC. So I think those numbers are a bit muddled there because it's PC and console.
Sure.
The active users on Xbox, but 10 million users.
10 million is nuts. That's absolutely insane.
I mean, a portion of that would be the $1 trial monthly thing. Most of those people are paying every month.
But this is still really early in the life cycle of this product, by the way. Like, it's still at this point. A lot of people are would have not bought into it yet. A lot of people will jump into it when they get into like next gen hardware. It's still early on. So to hear it already has 10 million people. Is massive, and it's just they're absolutely crushing it with this right now. Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries just got released on this as well. Streets of Rage 4, which has just had fantastic reviews, is also on there. Gears Tactics, fantastic game, very good reviews as well, also on there. Red Dead Redemption 2, it's honestly the best deal in video game history, I feel. Like, honestly, I mean that. Like, it's crazy the amount of shit that you can get on this, and it's new shit, It's not just like back catalog stuff. It's the new hotness.
I genuinely wonder how that business model survives as it gets bigger, and all these developers have to make the decision to not be a part of it, or maybe the tide turns so much that Xbox Game Pass and Sony PlayStation Now becomes the predominant way people kind of receive games. Are these developers, are they going to get not a great deal? Because if we look at streaming from Spotify, perfect example where a lot of artists just don't get the money they used to because they don't sell a single CD. They sell a microsecond each, of listening time. It's just... I wonder if it's going to be sustainable financially for these companies.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that is the big question mark people have around this, whether or not it is exploitative. I haven't heard any developers coming out and saying, "Oh yes, it's absolutely a scam. This is terrible." And I think if it was, we would have heard that at this point. Yeah. I haven't heard companies saying that. So
I feel like the natural where this is going to probably sit is going to be like it's going to be the DVD of gaming. Like, it might. You have to purchase it, and then 6 months later it comes out on Xbox.
But the thing is, this is not the case here. Like,
I agree.
Games,
I know it's coming out now. I'm talking like in the future. Maybe maybe that is where the middle ground, where developers are able to make their money and then get resale value through there.
So look, Xbox Game Pass is getting bigger and bigger every day. But you know what's not getting bigger every day? the Assassin's Creed video game.
I had another joke there, but I wasn't going to say.
Settle down, Sam. So it turns out that Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be shorter and smaller than Odyssey to address bloat criticism.
And Ralph can relate to that. So,
that's right.
Look, that has been one of the major criticisms, let's face it. Like, it just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And games in general with open worlds, like, it becomes like the draw card of marketing for them. It's a gigantic world.
biggest world we've ever done.
It'll take you 7 hours to walk across it. It's like, fuck,
right.
man, no one wants that. You know, like, you'll never get around to actually exploring it.
No, to be fair, some people do want that. And because basically the quote here
People
is...
think they want it.
Well, oh, jeez, wow, you sound like the Blizzard guy. You think you want classic, but you don't.
No, because the developer then is pushed into a corner where they just make massive space with nothing in it.
My point is, okay, first of all, the quote. FYI, it won't be the longest or biggest game in the series. They address criticism on this one. This is from Ubisoft Middle East Head of Communications, Malek Tefaha. Sorry if I mispronounced that. And he's basically saying it's not going to be... Now, some people, like myself, were like, good job, Ubi. We love you. Well done. You've listened. That's good news. Because I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey was a great game that was just full of bullshit. So packed full of bullshit. And because I'm okay with side content, by the way. Like, The Witcher 3 has tons of it, but it's really good, so I don't mind doing it. Skyrim is another example. There's tons of bullshit in that, but, like, it's actually pretty good if you, like, really dig into the stories of the towns and the Mages Guild and whatever. Like, it's good stuff, right? Then there's, like, the Assassin's Creed Odyssey stuff, which is, like, there's this 25-hour block in the middle of the game that's just really boring shit that you have to do, you know? So, a lot of people, though, or not a lot of people, some people were like, this is really disappointing. I loved every part of Odyssey. I'm disappointed that it's going to be smaller. I'm 200 hours into Odyssey, and I haven't even finished the game yet. And I'm just like, how? Like, how could you be doing that? What are you doing in this game? So, some people really like the massive, like, just continue forever thing. But I think most people kind of agreed that Odyssey was a bit much.
Yeah, and to make another comparison to Spotify or streaming, like, you know, as you've said in one of your videos, you know, it becomes a marketing tool to say bigger and bigger, and Spotify's like, let's just add more tracks, more and more and more. You know, like, so, like what happened to the days where it's just like, it's just a bit more small and it was refined, it's a bit more curated. You can do an open world, but you don't have to make it so goddamn gigantic that it becomes a selling point. You know, it should. So I'm glad that they're going down this route, and I hope this lands well, because now this will hopefully make a precedent where people are like, you know what? Smaller was better. Yeah, smaller is better.
Sam wants to live in that world.
Don't you worry about that.
I mean, I think about, as I said, like God of War. God of War was probably, 30 to 35 hours. And there was just
not even 20, 25.
I don't think so. I feel like it was like 30 to 35 hours. Especially if you did... I felt like there was just no fat to be trimmed in that game. Like, it was just so tight. And I would absolutely play an Assassin's Creed game that aims for that level of, like, tightness. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of what they used to be. Well, they weren't ever tight in the past, but they were smaller experiences, more discreet, you know? And then they obviously kind of blew out with Origins and Odyssey. I'd love to see them... Well, they said they're doing that now. They're bringing it in, and I'm really looking forward to this. Actually, I'm quite looking forward to Valhalla, because I enjoyed Odyssey even despite all of its bullshit. If they can get rid of the bullshit, I think I'm going to love Valhalla. That's my personal take. Plus, I love the setting. I'm just down for all that shit. Guys, we've got Nigel Williams here. First time donator. He says, follow both channels. Any opinion on artificially high prices for the PS4 Pro at the moment? I haven't heard about that, actually.
I haven't heard about that either. So,
I wonder why
artificially high prices on PS5.
I mean, maybe the only thing I could suggest is that, like, manufacturing is ceased everywhere, so it might be a case of like, well, we don't have any more PS4 Pro units to sell right now because none are being made, so we could just hold the price at this level. That's all I can think of.
You said PS4 Pro, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about that. Yeah.
And Ash K with $5 says, can you please let my friends Parth, Marg, and Nickel know that they suck at League of Legends? They do suck, but I guarantee
you guys suck at League of Legends,
they don't suck anywhere near as bad as Sam, because I've played rounds of League with Sam, and it is...
I'm a great support,
with
Blitzcrank.
That's the one thing. And look, guys, last story of the day today, we've got Victorian men hit with corruption charges over alleged eSports match fixing. So this is here in Australia, down under, where bad things are going down.
Terrible.
In the underground.
See, this is why Ralph just get
right.
the stories right.
I told you I was the funny one.
Terrible.
5 men have been charged with match-fixing offences as part of the first Australian criminal investigations into esports. Is this crazy?
Is it the first one ever?
Well, I've actually heard of ones before this, by
That's
the way.
what I thought.
Yeah, so that can't be right.
Maybe it's another country.
Detectives from the Victoria Police Sporting Integrity Intelligence Unit, they have charged the men last week with serious offences subject to maximum penalties of 10 years imprisonment. The ABC revealed last year that police suspected matches in a semi-professional esports league to have been thrown and that associates of the team have been told to bet on them. The commissioner, Neil Patterson, old mate Neil, told 7:30 last September. 7:30 is a TV show we have here, by the way. So,
like
good old Lee Sales. Last September, police believed as much as $30,000 dues had been won betting on fixed matches. Shame. Absolute shame.
Shame. Now, I wonder if the detectives are hardcore gamers, that they've got no idea what's going on here. Maybe they're like, look, we've received communication that you've planted a bomb. And where is this bomb?
That's right.
That's how you deliver a joke, Ralph. There we go.
Okay, so guys, we've got one more dono here. We got guys, we'll be reviewing playing Deliver Us to the Moon. Oh, I know that title. I'm glad to see you back on the moon.
It's not Singing to the Moon, right? The 2D one that made out. It was really sad. To the Moon.
No, that's To the Moon.
To the Moon.
Deliver Us to the Moon. I've heard of this. So Chaos Engine. I'm gonna look this up just very quickly because actually, now that I remember this, is this the I've heard this title, but I can't tell you anything more about it. I remember thinking about it at some point, thinking, I should check that out, but that's all. So,
speaking of that...
So I can't give you a straight answer to that question. We will come back to that. You've definitely reminded me.
Speaking of that, NASA has confirmed.
Here we go.
No joke.
Here we go.
NASA's confirmed that they're working with Tom Cruise, and they are...
I have heard that.
And they're making their first movie in space.
Have you seen that footage of when he nearly died?
You mean when he's holding onto the plane?
No, the helicopter.
No.
Oh my god. Do the thing. Google, like, when Tom Cruise nearly died, and he's doing this stunt in a helicopter. He's not in a harness or anything, and he's fucking high. And he's like holding onto the helicopter, and then he drops. And luckily there's this ball underneath him, and he catches it. And if he hadn't caught that thing, he'd be dead. There
must be a video out there that has the music come in. Mission Impossible when he grabs the ball. Oh my
god, that's crazy. Nick Weston, Saturday morning watching Laymen while wearing a Laymen jumper. Thank you, my friend. Take my coffee money, legends, and keep up the good work. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Guys, that is Laymen Live for the week.
Another successful show.
Really fantastic to be back in the studio this week, and really good to be back doing Laymen Live on Saturday. You can expect us here live every week at this time. And we'll also do the odd live show whenever there's those, big announcements. For now, ladies and gentlemen, we love you very much, and we will see you throughout the week. Laymen out.
Laymen out!